mean, one summer we had it so good, we found this one point. Mike Bledsoe, the guy I was telling you about that caught the 212s, he named it Doc's Point. We caught so many fish on crawdads on that point, and it was a morning and evening thing. And one of the key things I saw in the evening when we went back, we saw the greaves out.
Okay.
And you know they was following bait.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching he eating bait there. So I said, you know what, we're going to straddle these points here. And later in the evening, the bait got closer and closer to the point. And sure enough, the bass showed up.
Wow.
And man, that went on for at least 3 days.
So timing was big.
Oh, timing was a big thing on that.
Wow.
Yes, it was. It was really big for that. And then right through Labor Day, the same thing, because I caught one of my biggest on Labor Day. You know, that holiday. You know, people are going out, and we go out in the mornings. And I got one just under 14 on Labor Day, doing the same thing. Go out first thing out of the gate in the morning.
Wow,
and
that's a giant fish.
Oh, and it's a lone fish. So if that was a February fish, oh, that fish would have been 15. You could see.
Oh, it'd be more than that probably.
This fish is. Oh, yeah.
28, 29, 30 inches probably, you think?
It's right at 30 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a giant, because Ranger's like, man, we don't usually see this, you know, during this time of year. And I'm like, yeah, but I got lucky and got one, you know.
No, I'm sure it's more than luck, brother. It's putting yourself in the right situation at the right time, and
it was
you know, capitalizing on that opportunity.
Well, I was getting fish. I got a couple of eggs a couple of days before, and then that morning I got 8 and a couple of smaller fish, and then we just stayed at the campsite. It was hot, and I said the next morning I'm gonna do it again. So go out the next morning, and that's when I got that one out. You know, on Labor Day morning, and that completed the Labor Day holiday.
That's a good way to cap the weekend right there.
And then the campsite was full of people too, you know. I had an old motorhome up there that Barbara got from somebody at work. The guys wanted her to get rid of it, and he said, if you guys want it, you can have it. And we wind up taking that thing, restoring it. I had got it painted, put pillows in it, put carpet. One of my guys from work redid the engine and took it to one of those truck stops. Did an acid wash on it.
Okay.
Put tires. I took it and parked it up there and left it up there for years. You know.
Wow, that's awesome.
Hi, Dale.
Hi.
This is Oliver.
I'm Oliver.
This is Dale.
I'm the real fisherman.
That's right.
I'm the real fisherman, okay? I'm the real one.
She's holding that 8-pounder over there.
Oh man. We saw it. Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's what made me leave that motorhome up there. Oh man, that kept us going back.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because you know, like you said, it was 108 miles, I think, for me, one way, and those were such long days, right? Because I'd have to leave 2 hours before sunrise to get there for sunrise, and then I'd stay all the way till the end.
Till the end, yeah.
You know,
I did too. I stayed until the lake closed.
Oh man, that still is a special place for me.
Oh, it is.
And I didn't nearly have the amount of success you had. Like, you know, I was still just trying to figure things out back when you used to see me at the lake. But those stories that you're telling are what drove me, and I saw a lot of those same fish with my own eyes. You know, and for me to be able to close the gap between seeing what was possible and actually holding one in my hands was a huge gap.
Yeah.
You know, it's so just watching you over the years kept me motivated to keep trying and figuring out. And
you can figure it out, because you can figure those fish is going to eat. You got to find out what they're going to eat and where they're located. And of course, they're not going to eat all the time. And the bigger fish are the most vulnerable ones, I think, because baits like this,
they got to sustain that weight, right, in that frame. Oh yeah.
And you know, they're not going to eat a bunch of the little swim baits. Sometimes not even the little Optima. They're going to want to go for the big one.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when you're going to cut the big girl out of the herd with that. But yeah, you just have to figure it out, and you got to have a passion for it, just like you got to want it real bad.
That's right.
And just say, guys, I want to catch fish. You got to get up early. You got to stay up late. And that's what the guy said, what the key is. You got to have time also, too. You know? And I was fortunate at the time. I'm not as busy. I wasn't as busy that time as I am now, you know. And of course, the lake is not even the same. And if it was, I would make the time.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I even wind up giving away the motorhome. I donated it to Boys Charity.
Okay.
Because I don't even use it that much. If you see the lake, it's only 35% capacity
Yeah.
now, and that's just
It's brutal.
from what we used to seeing it at and what it is
Mhm.
now. Oh, it's
All the stuff we fish was up high and dry.
high and dry. Because imagine the water level was so high, you could just back down right out of the marina,
Uh-huh.
and you're right there and done launched. You know,
For sure.
here you got to go all the way here.
I've never even been up there since the water's been down like
and down.
that.
I just seen it basically on the news and the pictures that I got.
It's brutal.
So, and I saw one program the guys was fishing. You don't even see the lake that we used to see there.
Mm-mm.
No, not at all.
No, it's completely
So,
different.
Then we had the
Oh, is that the one right there?
Castaic.
See, that was the bait that started it for me, because they used to have these in the display case at Turner's.
Yes.
Remember? So
Yeah.
I'd come in there looking at all the expensive reels, and right in between them was this thing in that fancy cardboard box that they had them in. I'm like, oh man. And I want to say they were $49.99 back then,
Yeah, it was $50,
which was a lot of money for a bait back
for
then.
oh yeah, at that time it was. That's why this was a bargain.
Gotcha.
compared to fishing with theirs, knowing that you're catching fish on it. But the thing
Mhm.
is, the guy is going to go for this because look at this.
Because it's prettier.
Now, which one would you take?
Right.
Now, if you caught fish on this, you're going to throw this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one, for me, it would work. And the key was also, too, I know guys would throw it and start cranking it. This worked better slow, very
Gotcha.
slow.
Just waking it up on the surface.
Very slow. I mean, barely moving it where, not even where it makes it dip, but just crossing over top of trees, though. And that's the way this bait would work. Now, the ones that sink, I got them hanging up on the patio in
Okay.
the back. I'll show you what that looked like. But this bait here was one of the good baits too. But I still, over this bait and this
Wow.
Worm King, this Worm King.
You're going to take the Worm King, huh?
Right, just.
And see, that's something I had to struggle with coming up because, you know, being broke, it was tough for me to spend money on an expensive bait, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can only buy one at a time. Which one am I going to go with?
Yeah.
And I would go with the prettier
the pretty bait.
bait, and I would not catch anything on it.
And you know what would happen? If the fish are up, you're good with this.
Okay.
But the problem is, after a certain time, the bigger fish is not going to stay up. So the thing is go down to where they located at. So you got to sink that bait out there 25,
Put it where they
35
live. That's right.
And then start rolling it up. And sure enough, when you get that, now if the fish are up in the shallows or what have you, after a trout plant, this bait is going to be deadly for you. You're going to get fish. But once they move outside during the middle of the day, this is going to get you a bite anytime during the day. Anytime during the day. I mean, that's the way, my confidence bait was. Now, I'm not saying you wouldn't get big fish on this. You will. This will get big fish. And again, the slow rolling, right around the certain humps
Mhm.
or along the points, windy points, this here is going to get you big fish too. There's no doubt. This will get big fish. But my confidence bait at the time, it was this one. And that's because I caught more fish on it, of course.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, that and Optima. You could see the articles, Optima, Worm King. You've seen a few with Castaic because I didn't have the patience to wait. And then when the wind came up, I just went to start sinking this bait down to them and just start rolling it up. And then if I broke something off here or whatever, I had another one already set. I'll just retie, or I had a snap and then snap it on and just get back to it. You know? Yeah, I got to keep it in the water and keep it in front of them.
That's right.
And other problems they cause is got boats start following you now.
And you had a pretty distinct boat back then,
Boats
right?
is gonna
Black
follow
and
you.
teal with all the
Yeah.
glitter on it.
And so that's what that's what Rick said. Where every boat you get, you're like a magnet up there. They're gonna follow you, just like the one I got now. Same
It's
thing. He
brutal.
said it's gonna happen to you again.
Oh yeah.
And sure enough, I can remember a couple of times, guys. Sure enough, you look back, they're right behind you. And I
It's
love
still the same now.
Yeah, give them a spot, go rotate somewhere else.
Mhm.
Sure enough, they show right off, because I can remember this yellow champion, very distinctive, you know. Till I just asked him, you know, can I help you out? He said, all I just want is to catch one. Could you tell me what you're doing? I said, you watching what I'm doing. You see the spots. You just got to fish it until one get ready to bite, you know. Just want, I just sink it and just keep throwing, you know. But yeah, I had guys follow me all around the lake. And the same with me. I'm watching people where they fish, especially guys that catch fish, John Scholl and Harry, all of those guys. But I tell you, you just gotta have your confidence. And I go up and I don't see they trucks in the parking lot. Oh, I'm saying, oh, I got all.
You're going right to the prime stuff. Yep.
And then you only need, you know, five good spots, 5, 6 maybe.
Okay.
And then you figure the fish are gonna pull up on that if you got confidence on them. And all of them near deep areas, every one of them. And sometime during the day, those fish gonna show up. So you're gonna go beating up against the shoreline, throwing along. You're gonna get 5, 6 pound fish, maybe 7. But if you want to get that 8 to 10 fish, you go hit those prime areas. You know, out deep, the humps, places where you're gonna get hung up at. You know, where people don't want to fish, and you're gonna get them. But that's a pretty bait. I have to say.
This still is, you know, 20 plus years later.
Yeah, look how that looks.
I mean, gosh, that's a good looking bait.
It is. Look at that bait.
Hand carved out of wood.
That bait will still take fish.
Yeah, it will. Revolutionary.
Yeah, nobody's fishing them. Yeah.
You got more than one in there.
Oh yeah. You can see the same thing.
There was a time when those things were going for an absurd amount of money on eBay.
Same thing. Look at the marks. Bark bite from the back. And then I got the one out on the back. You can see
all those teeth marks.
And they just come and they go to crush these things.
Wow,
you know?
That's crazy. Yeah, you see them all on the top of the head there.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you notice anything about this one.
Oh, I noticed.
No lip, right?
Yep.
And you know what this causes right there?
That thing kind of.
Oh, it just darts.
Big S.
Yep. This here is your follow-up. You see fish and whatever, or you just could start out with it. That's done on purpose.
Yep.
Take that lip off. Oh, it gives it that erratic motion. Oh man, and then you take it and throw it out, and you just skip it, go and stop it, and hit it. It just turns, and sure enough, the fish just comes up and crashes.
That's how I was getting them to react when you used to see me up there with a big lipless topwater bait and fishing it crazy like that.
And they'll come up when they see it
my
erratic
goodness.
like
Some
that.
of those bites I used to get. Ugh.
They think it's injured already, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had a GoPro then.
Yeah, I know, huh? But yeah, you see how I just beat that bait. But yeah, that is definitely, that was on purpose.
That's cool, man. It's cool to see you light up when these memories come flashing back when you're holding these baits.
Because those fish would definitely eat these things like that. And I have to say, that still is a good finish on there.
Yeah, it is.
There's no doubt.
It's held up well, and it's been fished, as you can see.
Yeah, that is a very good finish on that.
Wow.
I know they made a big deal about the fins and stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I know guys was complaining my fins came off. It didn't matter whether it had fins or whatever on it. You just keep fishing it, and the fish come up. They're not looking for nothing but to grab a silhouette.
That's
right. What they're looking at. And they just look close to what they're going to eat. They taking it down. That's what they was doing.
That's great.
Oh yeah, that's real nice fish.
Here, oh, we got one of the original hardhead.
Yeah,
shad, huh?
One of the locals gave me this.
Oh wow.
Harry Waycasey.
See, that's a 7-inch. They called that the gizzard back then.
Yeah.
And remember, when I was like 4 foot 3 inches tall when I started fishing, that thing used to look huge to me.
Yeah, I know.
It really did.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't even have a rod I can throw that on.
Because I had I don't know what box was in. And there was also one, the bluegill.
Yep.
Remember?
And they had 2 sizes of the bluegill too.
Yeah, I had that too. I'm not sure what box I got that in.
I didn't catch crap on that bait.
I didn't, because I was so.
Well, you probably never even threw it.
You see, I don't even have a hook on it.
All right. Yeah.
I took it. He gave it to me. The same thing with the bluegill. And he was getting fish, but the fish was still 4 to maybe 6 pounds was the best.
Tournament fish.
Yeah. So I really didn't get interested in that. So after that, I just kind of faded away. If it wasn't this, I just kind of shined it on. You know, you get spoiled, and people now you just want any kind of bite.
Yeah.
But now this was a good bait. Guys caught fish on them. I just never got into that.
It's just cool for me to kind of go back in time with you here and, you know, go through the different perspectives that I had coming up. Because I'm telling you, that thing used to be absurdly big to me. And then, you know, I see you fishing like a 12-inch worm king, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and you look
That's
at that
a
and
whole
you see.
different game.
And you think, you're right. And then you, because most of the guys like to finesse, because you want to get bites.
Mhm.
Yeah, you sit there, if you downsize, you're going to get bit. You're gonna go, who's going to go for 4 or 5 hours and not get bit?
Not very many people.
Yeah, and this bait probably would have got bit.
Yeah.
And you're right, at the time it was a big bait. Yeah, it's a big bait, but I said, oh no.
Because, you know, as a kid, I was still learning, just trying to get bites from bass, right? Just
Yeah.
learning basic behavior and trying to grasp the fundamentals of fishing. And it was hard for me to get a bite on a worm sometimes, or a small crankbait, you know, like a Rapala
Rattle.
shad wrap or a rattle trap. And then those are just a fraction of the size of that. And I think that was listed as a 7-inch bait
This one?
at the time.
Maybe, no, 5, I think 5.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, because I think, I don't know what I did with the bluegill. The bluegill was basically the 7-inch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from, I'm not sure what I did with that. But of course the body was much
Yeah.
much broader.
And it's funny because we look at this thing now, we laugh. It's like, oh man,
I know.
that thing's cute.
And I know, and then I had guys, when we was fishing, I went fishing with a friend, the guy that's in South Dakota. We fished Skinner. My first striper trip I ever went was with him. This was in the box.
Oh, okay.
And he was trying
those
this,
green boxes.
and he never could get bit on the thing, you know.
Wow.
So
It looked good in the water.
It does. It does. It looks great in the water, you know, because you can see how the hard head and then the body is on it. That's the same way the bluegill
Yeah,
is too. The same way. And bluegill did look good.
it did,
Yeah,
for
the guy,
sure.
Harry Waycasey gave me
I
that.
think they definitely set the bar in that era for the most realistic baits.
Yeah, because when you look at it in the water, oh man, it's got a good look to
Mhm.
it. It swims great. Yes, it does.
I hope your buddy's still fishing in South Dakota, because we fished that for the first time this fall and had some of the most incredible topwater smallmouth fishing
Is that right?
I've ever had.
Well, he's fishing. That's the one there with me with the 3 bass.
Uh-huh.
He's not fishing very much.
Oh, he needs to.
In
There's
fact,
so many lakes there.
and he probably he's more of a hunter now. He's
Uh-huh.
hunting pheasant, and then now he's doing what, deer, and with the bow and arrow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's
He's
fishing.
big into the archery thing.
Yeah,
Huh? I guess
it's-
that's a good problem to have, is to have all those different distractions there.
But yeah, he fished with me at Casitas, and he's the one that gave me the drive. He's the
Wow.
one that started me up there.
It's crazy to see how all these things are all linked together, you know?
Yeah, and then he come back, and I took him up to Casitas after I got into the bite and showed him what was going on. Got him his biggest fish up there.
It's
You
awesome.
know, he's got his 12 3/4. And he started bass fishing in San Diego's, where he
Okay.
originally came from. And he used to get fish there. And then when we got to Casitas, he wanted to fish the worms. And I wanted to fish the worm king.
Yeah.
So, and that's the deal with him and Kelly. I don't know how they wind up together that day.
Because you and
that's
Kelly are in the same industry, right?
Yeah. I think he retired now. you
Yeah.
see. But yeah, we've been working in the industry. Because guys used to ask me all the time, you know Kelly? And I never knew who he was until Greg introduced him
Wow.
to me. You know, because I was at the desk one day and he said, I bet I know where you like to be at right now. I was like, where's that? At the lake? I said, well, you got good information. You know? So yeah. So once I met him,
That's cool.
yeah, it was. Because that's one thing about fishing. It's going to draw people that fish.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed that part of this world, is it draws like-minded people together.
Yeah.
And for the most part, most people are really cool.
Yeah, and you're going
Yeah.
to get some, but I tell you, the guys, Greg and Kelly, all these guys, that's how I met them. I worked in the industry for years, never knew who they was until they found out I was fishing. I think one article popped up in the LA Times back in 88. They saw the name Doc Holliday, but they never put it together.
Wow.
And then when they go, we saw a guy in the paper had caught this bass at Vail Lake. and he said his name was Doc, and then I showed. I think I had.
You mean this one?
And he's like, "That's you? We didn't know you fish." Nobody had a clue what I do when I left work. And then that's when it started coming, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what do you do? And then we started meeting after work, going fishing, and guys would come from other states and found out about fishing. We wind up taking them out, going fishing and stuff.
That's
So,
cool.
Oh yeah, it was a good deal. Yes, it was. But yeah, I had the fever bad once I started getting them fish up at Casitas Lake. But, yeah, we can mosey on in and
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those photos.
got some pictures. I was trying to dig them out earlier, and I know when you told me about get the some old baits out, I said I know he'd be interested in
Oh
this.
yeah, for sure.
The Worm King, Optima. See, I keep these in my other box. Old Castaic lures.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this with us. This is
I
awesome.
keep these in. There's always feel it might be a time I might need it if I'm somewhere.
People haven't even seen this style tackle box anymore, you know?
So you know how old that thing is.
Gosh.
That was my only tackle box for this, because this was what I would take to make sure that I didn't deviate with no worms or
yep.
nothing else. So if I took this box,
Just that bad
with
boy.
all of these baits here, I'm not going to throw no small
Right.
worms or anything. So this is old stuff I had in. Probably. Oh, just my trap stuff.
Oh, okay.
With the sleeves
All the
that I
crimps
put-
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would use that. So what I did is had nothing but this box. This here came later. But
Okay.
this was the only box I would take with me.
Wow.
That with the hooks in there, my extra eyes, along with the
That's awesome.
glue, so I
Mhm.
can glue the eyes on. Make sure I have the baits. But this would be it. I would take this and the old tails. Remember the Castaic tail?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I would frame the tails and stuff. So this way, I'll make sure
You're
that
prepped.
I'm ready to go. I'm not gonna. If I don't get a fish, it's got big baits only.
Mm.
And you had to commit to it at the time if you wanted to get one.
Still do.
And in the same thing now. If you want to do that.
Still do. It really just comes down to what your goals are, right? And what you want to accomplish fishing wise. Oh, this is cool.
And if you want big fish, you can look up and catch them. But if you want to target them, you know as well, you got to target them with the right tools.
Mm-hmm.
Got to have big baits and commit to it.
Big baits, thick lines, heavy weights.
And heavy weights, yeah. And you get them in all different water columns. You start at the top, they'll be up early, maybe even late. Middle of the day, they're going to just start to fade out, go out. So you got to go follow them.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I learned that at Casitas.
Yeah.
You know, with that clear water. Early in the morning, I'd have activity first
Big in
thing
the
before the
morning.
light came up over the hills,
Hills,
depending
yeah.
what part of the lake I was fishing, and then it would die, and then I'd go do something else, fish deeper, and then once the sun was setting, it was game on again for me,
And
shallow.
they start to come up.
Yeah,
And you know what that means, right? Ambush time.
that's right.
Yeah, because now they know that they can get closer to the prey. So they can come up, ambush. Yeah.
You got a time machine back there we can just jump in? It's just-
I know. Oh, man.